Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, firefighters hurt in backdraft explosion re-entered burning building today. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino.
We were born in New Hampshire in 1850 to help people through the challenges of life. Today
was a whoosh that sounded like a freight train.
Zero visibility, thick black smoke.
You're right next to each other, but you can't see each other.
They could hear the fire.
It was kind of an eerie feeling.
Firefighter Tom DeFina and Captain Pete Frangus are a team. 16 years of working together builds a trust, that connection where they finish each other's sentences. DeFina was on the second floor, searching for the wall with his hand to get oriented. He leaned on a door.
It was that explosion, boom, and it was a giant fireball. There was a lot of screaming at that point, and get out, get out. That fireball didn't go away. Got back up to my knees, and the next thing I know, is my working partner pulled me out, and we all went tumbling down the stairs.
Then the Engine 5 crew tumbled down the stairs as well.
From the time I called the Mayday, we were out in 1 minute.
The motto at Manchester Fire is we go in together and we come out together.
We hugged each other, and we were happy to be out. We swapped air bottles back out and went back in to help put the fire out.
Monday morning, the charred turnout gear is laid out on the floor.
It's all melted.
And Worcester's tragedy is weighing heavy. There is gratitude here for each other, for the job, and for life itself.
It was a close call.
So the house, we're told, is a total loss, and that is heartbreaking, particularly this time of year. But the only loss here is a structure. And considering the alternative, that feels like a miracle. We're live in Manchester this noon. Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Fallen Worcester firefighter escorted to medical examiner's office. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Antoinette, this memorial is growing as mourners young and old come by with flowers and candles to pay tribute to Christopher Roy. Escorted by his Worcester firefighting comrades, the body of Christopher Roy on its way from UMass Memorial Medical Center, a line of police officers leading the way. The procession from Worcester, the city the 36-year-old served, to Boston, where the medical examiner will perform an autopsy. Another sad day after the loss of life, as Roy was trapped inside a Lowell Street apartment house, was rescued but did not survive.
He know how to do it. He's very smart.
Sometimes it's the little things. At the firehouse on Webster Street, where Roy served for 2.5 years, 2.5-year-old Sammy came by with his father to pay his respects. First a salute, then with support for the grieving firefighters of Ladder 4 and Engine 5. Not the little boy's first time visiting.
So he know a lot of firemen. He know a lot of them. He take a picture, do a lot of stuff with them.
And Christopher Roy's body is expected to be returned here to Worcester at some point, perhaps as early as later on today.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police seek man after robbery of Eastern Bank in Manchester. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Police are looking for a suspect after a morning bank robbery in Manchester. Investigators say bank surveillance cameras caught this image of the suspect at the Eastern Bank on Hooksett Road. Police say he entered the bank and handed the teller a note. Officials say he may have left the scene in a vehicle. Police say there was no weapon used, and anyone with information about this suspect is asked to call the Manchester Police Department.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police look for man who stole Toys for Tots donation jar. Police in Manchester are looking for a man who took a Toys for Tots donation jar at a business. An employee at Signature Flight Support in Manchester, which assists the owners and operators of private and business aircraft, said a man came in on November 7th and spoke about getting fuel for his vehicle. The employee turned away briefly to get the man a cup of coffee, then found he was gone, along with the donation jar. Police are asking for the public's help in identifying him. And here is a photo of that man. Take a look. If you recognize this man, call the Manchester Police Department so they can try and find him. Dog rescued from Exeter River after falling through ice. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
We were born in New Hampshire in 1850 to help people through the challenges of life. Today,
So we're very lucky.
There were moments Jennifer Marr didn't know if her dog Jax was going to be okay. You can hear her in this video taken by Donna Terrence, who happened to be in the area.
Hey, Jax!
Jax, come on, good boy! Jax, you're a good boy! I had to keep him hearing me and, keep him above water.
Frantic moments that seemed to pass slowly as Jennifer called 911 and passersby began shoving branches out into the river for Jax to cling onto.
We got some big trees and they were very helpful and brought them down and we were pushing them into the water. We actually got one out there so he could put his front paws on that.
Helpless moments for Jennifer.
My feet were in there, but I knew, if I, the chance of me not coming home could be, the possibility too. So my first thought was, how would I go home and tell my kids that Jax isn't here?
You can see a responding firefighter wearing a safety suit as he slid over the thin ice on the Exeter River headed for Jax. In the video, you can see that firefighter manages to get Jax up onto the ice. The dog then runs to the safety of the shore and to a warm jacket Jennifer wrapped him up in.
Laid himself flat on the ice and got in there and got Jax out. I mean, that was just unbelievable.
Firefighters let Jax warm up in a rig before he was taken to the vet to be checked out. And as you can see, Jax is getting love and hugs and is now doing just fine.
Very, very thankful to everyone that came and helped.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're happy the story ended nicely. Race Across America begins journey to Arlington. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
The wreaths are headed south, but not before making 2 stops in your county today.
This is unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It's so nice to see the community come together and welcome them through town.
Students and community members lined the route today, many holding flags.
I think it's amazing that people care so much. I think it's amazing that they're going to give up their time to do this.
Westbrook Police Chief Janine Roberts oversees the entire law enforcement escort from Maine to Arlington.
It's very humbling and rewarding to be able to provide a service for our Gold Star family members and the rest of the convoy.
Everyone is here for a reason. George Sherwood, now 91, fought in the Pacific during World War II.
One of the hardest parts was after the first day of invasion, we buried 30 Marines off the Fantail that got killed on one of the beaches.
George's brother also died in the war. For him, it's about recognizing their sacrifices and what their loved ones lost defending our freedom. In the middle of our interview, he got a bit of recognition himself.
Thank you again for your service, sir. Thank you.
The well-wishers and flag wavers out here today say it's a small gesture to show their support, but it really means the world to the families of those who've been lost fighting overseas.
They need to know that somebody is going to stand on a corner with the flag and say thank you.
In Kittery, Tyler Caderet, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Very cool indeed. And let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Monday evening. And here's a look at your U.S. stock market. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the red and went down. US 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the red and went down. And VIX closed in the red and went down. And that's a look how your stock markets closed for this Monday evening. Dow erases 500-point drop and closes higher in another wild session on Wall Street. Stocks rose on Monday, erasing sharp losses from earlier in the day, as shares of technology companies posted strong rebounds across the border. Major players in Trump-Russia drama seek to dismiss DNC suit. Several major figures in the ongoing Trump-Russia drama have lined up in opposition to a lawsuit filed by the Democratic National Committee, arguing a federal judge should dismiss accusations of an international conspiracy ahead of the 2016 presidential election. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.